In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my shortcut to real hair growth fast. My name is Angelica, aka Angie B. Welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, I post hair videos twice a week, every single week, and some shorts in between, and something fun on the weekend when I can. If that seems interesting, consider subscribing. The subscription button is right down there, as well as the bell icon. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications every single time I post. This might not be what you expect, but it is surprisingly one of the things that made a massive difference for me. And this is a liquid leave-in conditioner. Not just any leave-in conditioner, a liquid one. And why is this? Because liquid leave-in conditioners help hydrate the hair shaft from the core of the hair, from the inside of the hair, all the way out. And creams usually can penetrate that deep in the hair. And this is like the perfect combo to end your wash day routine using a liquid leave-in conditioner. It makes your hair feel much smoother, which also prevents tangling, or let me say it reduces the amount of tangling in your hair. It reduces the amount of breakage because it's not tangling. It also reduces the amount of split ends because sometimes split ends can form just from your hair being too tangled together, and every time you try and separate it, it snags, it snaps. As your little bits of hair break, it also causes split ends on top of that. The one I like is the one from Pureology, the 21 Benefits Color Fanatic leave-in conditioner. That is my favorite one of all time, and one that is a very close second that I just started using recently is the Amika Hydro Rush. The properties are very similar, and I would say the Pureology one is great for lengthening, and like it makes your hair dry like you've blow dried your hair. It like stretches the hair somehow, but the Amika one is more hydrating. So if I had to pick one over the other, I wouldn't. I would just have both. And I will link them in the description box below if you're interested, as well as any other product that I mentioned. None of the products in this video are sponsored. I'm just mentioning what I've been using or what I recommend. Also, just because I'm using a liquid leave-in doesn't mean I don't use a leave-in cream too, because my hair really thrives with the leave-in cream. It's just that the leave-in cream was just never enough. This next tip is one that everybody's heard. It's like saying drink your water. Like everybody knows it. Just because you know it doesn't mean you actually do it. You ever think of something where you're like, oh, I know I should drink this amount of water every day. So you convince yourself that you've already done it because you know you're supposed to do it. But are you actually doing it? Okay? This is deep conditioning your hair at least once a week. And if you don't wash your hair every week and you stretch to like maybe 10 days or something, let me say deep condition your hair every single time you wash it. Unless you wash your hair multiple times a week, then at least once a week would apply. This is one of the only products that can hydrate your hair from the inside out. And that's why this works perfectly with a leave-in conditioner, because when you rinse it out, you don't want your hair to dry, and so that leave-in just locks in all the amazing properties from your deep conditioner. Deep conditioners are extremely, extremely important, especially if you deal with dryness, if you deal with breakage, because the thing that usually impacts your hair growth is not actually your hair growing extremely slowly. Like instead of growing half an inch a month, you're growing like a quarter of an inch. Most likely, if your hair is growing slowly, maybe it's like a quarter of an inch instead of a half. The issue with most of us, including me, is that you're dealing with high levels of breakage or slightly stunted hair growth. But it's not that your hair is not growing, it's that your hair is breaking either at the same rate or even faster than it is growing. So whatever you can do to keep the hair that you're growing and retain the length, that's what's going to make the major difference in your hair. So deep conditioning really, really helps that. My favorite deep conditioner of all time after all these years is still the Amika Soul Food Nourishing Mask, and a close second is the Amika Hydro Rush. Again, Amika just does it for me when it comes to deep conditioning products. I feel like no one can compete with them. I've tried products that are way more expensive than them. I've tried cheaper ones, and it just doesn't compare. Regular conditioners sort of work more on the outside of your hair. They make your hair look nice and they make your hair moisturized and everything, but it doesn't last as long as a deep conditioner, which is meant to penetrate all the way through your hair. But of course, just know the brand you're working with, because some brands have a deep conditioner and a conditioner that's almost the same thing, so just know what you're dealing with. This next one is something I've been doing as well since last year, and this is oiling my ends every single night. I stopped oiling like my entire hair shaft with like a lot of oils and stuff because it can actually block moisture from your hair, but specifically oil on the ends makes a major difference. It reduces the amount of single strand knots, the amount of tangling, it hydrates the ends. I find that all my hair feels more hydrated even if I'm just doing the ends, and it's like the ends to slightly up the mid shaft. And I only use serum like oils, and when I say oils I'm being generous because to be honest I only use one oil, and it's the Kerastase Elixir Ultime. This is the same one I've been using since last year. I have only purchased this once. I fell in love with it the first day I used it, and this is what it looks like after using it every single day, or maybe I skip a couple days once in a while if I'm tired. But in general, every single day or at least 6 days a week, I use this, and I'm only here. I've been using this for 9 months, okay? So it is quite a very expensive oil, but it's absolutely worth it. I use one drop, I put it on all my ends. It is a game changer. This is one of the few products like that liquid leave-in conditioner. When I started doing this every single day, I started retaining length so much faster than ever, and it just makes my hair feel soft and smooth, and it almost feels like it altered the texture of my hair, not the curl pattern, just the texture. It feels amazing and I highly recommend it. Also, if you don't want to use this oil, just use any other oil that's got a more of like a serum like consistency. Now this next one I feel like died out for a really long time, and then it's popular again, and I'm so happy it's popular, and now it's gone across all races, across all hair textures and hair types, and I think it's an awesome thing. And this is always sleeping with a silk bonnet, a silk pillowcase, or in my opinion, you should sleep with both. The reason why you want to sleep with silk or satin, it's more about the texture of the material. Silk or satin, either one works. The reason why it's amazing is because it doesn't absorb moisture like other fabrics like cotton or anything like that. And it keeps your hair from tangling, from getting stuck in your pillow. It also keeps whatever products you've put on your hair. And also, if you have a satin bonnet and a satin pillowcase, you will just glide across the pillow very easily. And so it's going to prevent the satin bonnet from falling off. If you find that every single night you wear a satin or silk bonnet and it's always off your head in the morning, it's probably because it's getting caught on your pillow. If you sleep on a satin pillow as well, it's not going to come off. For some reason, if it does come off, you have extra insurance that now your hair is just directly on the satin pillow and it's not going onto cotton or anything else. I do want to make this clear. Some people have actually got traction alopecia or damage on their hairline from wearing bonnets, and it's because of having the wrong edge. A lot of bonnets, there's two types of bonnets. Some bonnets, which I prefer, I think all bonnets should have a flat edge that sits on your hairline instead of a pleated one, because that can actually pull your edges out and cause unnecessary friction. But also, some bonnets have a different fabric on the hairline. Like it'll be a cotton or some kind of absorbent band, and then the rest of the thing is satin. That's not good enough. The entire thing needs to be made out of satin or silk. This is my favorite one. They last really long, and I've just found out that they sell jumbo ones as well. I only find them on Amazon, Stay On or something. I will link it in the description box below. It is very soft, it's not structured, it doesn't feel heavy on the head, it is so lightweight, and the edge is made from the same material. As you can see, it is very stretchy, although it's old, so it's kind of lost its stretch. I need a new one, but it is stretchy. The pleat is very fine, so it doesn't even really, like, you don't feel it, there's no friction. Most bonnets kind of have an edge that's pleated that looks, and this rubbing against your hairline causes friction. So this is my favorite bonnet of all time. It's the only kind of bonnet. I've tried different kinds of bonnets and I still go back to this one, so I'm just gonna stick to this. And then my satin pillowcase I also got from Amazon. It is just a black one as well, just because in case there's oil or anything like that, I don't want it to stain my pillow. And then my other pillows on my bed just have regular pillowcases. So highly recommend this. I guess I can also link this pillowcase. This next one is one that always has a lot of debate, and in fact just yesterday when I was on Instagram I saw a stylist talking about this, and I'm just like, I know you're a professional and some things make sense, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense. And this tip is stop trimming your hair if you don't have damage or split ends. If you have severe damage and severe split ends, I would recommend you go to a professional stylist, even if it's just once, so they can cut off all the split ends and all the damage. And then from then on, you just keep on the upkeep, especially if your hair only grows half an inch a month. Your hair might stay the same length for a long time just because you're addicted to the health of the hair. Your hair doesn't always have to be completely full at the bottom. Your hair is growing from different areas of your head, right? So it can't always be 100% full at the bottom. Also, some people's hair grows faster in certain areas. My hair grows faster on the sides here and sometimes at the back. So that hair naturally will be longer than the rest of your hair. And if your hair is in layers as well, as it's growing out, it won't all be one full length. So if it's slightly thinner but it's not damaged, if that's just the style, that is fine. So don't be so obsessed with having a schedule that you have to trim your hair every 6 weeks, every 12 weeks. Trim your hair when you have split ends. If there's no split ends, do not cut them. You are just cutting off the length that you are growing. Like I said before, your hair is always growing, but it may not be growing at the optimum length for your genetics, right? Genetics always plays a factor. If your genetics dictate that your hair grows 1 inch a month, your hair will grow 1 inch a month. However, if you are not eating properly, you're not drinking enough water, even if your hair can grow 1 inch a month, even an inch and a half a month, you may only be growing a quarter of an inch a month because your body doesn't have enough nutrients to take it to your hair, so it's focusing on your vital organs. And so when you do things to help speed up the rate of your hair growth to get up to your optimum growth rate, your hair actually will start growing faster because you haven't been growing it at your optimum length. And something that can really help with this is either LED light therapy or low level laser therapy. Now, I've been using both and I've seen really good results from both. I have one kit from Current Body and the other one from iRestore. Current Body gifted it to me, and iRestore, I was working with them in a different video. I have a whole video about it, but it makes a major difference because the lasers will penetrate directly into your hair follicle and stimulate the mitochondria to speed up the rate of your hair growth. They can also help with any dormant follicles, so they can make your hair look thicker and make your hair grow up to the optimum growth levels. It can also help keep your hair in the growth phase, the anagen phase, for a much longer time. So if you've never considered laser therapy, I implore you to check it out. I believe I have discount codes for both of them, and if they are not working anymore, I think you can just Google a discount code and I'm sure you'll easily find one. But like I said, everything will be listed in the description box below. If you want more tips, please let me know. Hit my face right there to subscribe if you didn't in the beginning. Watch this video right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!